Well, after my visit to the Railway Museum, and I'll talk about that again at the end of this video, 20 minutes later I arrive at Loch Doon just as these guys were leaving. Oh, wait a wee minute, maybe they've decided to come back. Maybe they've left something. No, I think they are away. Ta-da! Not going to lie, I'm not off-grid camping. And seriously, it was because I couldn't find a decent enough pitch. A lot of passing places, but of course you can't use those. There was a lot of rain, so a lot of the potential places to sit were waterlogged. But I'm here now. I just came into the Loch Doon camp caravan site, and I've got a hard pitch for my roof tent. But I'm just sitting here looking out over Loch Doon, and there isn't another sound bar me talking to you. I might not be wild camping, but it's not bad. There's my little pitch right there. Just boiled the kettle. Now I'm cooking my jumbo fish fingers. That I'm going to have on little rolls with peri peri mayo. Ooh. Oh, I need to get my spatula. Right, while I'm away, I have to admit to burning the first fish fingers, but I ate them anyway. They were great. Got my tongs instead. Second batch of fish fingers on. One in a row. Fabulous. Oh. Peri peri. What's that? Peri peri meal. It's good. Look, just give it a good shake, man, and then it'll come out. Told you. Nice red. Cheers. Good morning. It's back at 7. Now what am I doing today? Well, obviously I'm in a site with mobile homes, but I'm going to be visiting a mobile castle. Yep, I am. Possibly be visiting an observatory, which is close by. But yeah, I'm going to start the day with a caramel latte, as one does. Anyway, whatever you're doing today, have an absolutely fantastic day. Cheers. Loch Doon Castle was built in the early 14th century on the larger island on the Loch. In 1935-36, when the water level was to be raised for a hydroelectric scheme, the castle's fine ashlar masonry was dismantled and re-erected here. Wall cores and later buildings were left on the partly submerged island. It's 11-sided. It's a polygonal plan. Little is known of its history apart from a successful defence against the English siege in 1335. Oops! Here it is, in all its finest ruinous state. See if we can get in. There's a bit of a path round here. No. Ah. So this is the door. Obviously, it would have had a big key, a big metal door there. Anyway, that's quite impressive though. It's all muddy. Let me gingerly get in here. And we're in. That was obviously a room. That must have been the door. The walls are about 4 or 5 feet thick. Now, although it didn't mention that in that notice board, historians actually think this was built either by Robert the Bruce or his father. So Robert the Bruce has walked through that doorway. It was subject to 3 or 4 battles to be taken over by the King's army, and the Scots took it back, lost it again, I think took it back again. There's a plaque over here. It was recaptured the Scots, and then in the 1500s, during the reign of King James V, it was burnt, badly damaged, and then rebuilt. And of course we know that it was originally on an island in the Loch. But what sort of battles has that doorway seen?
Right, listen, we represent the king, you know. A minute, I'm Scottish. You're no getting in, you bum. Tell your king he's a bum and all.
He's not letting me past, he's staring me out. Go on. Well, that's me. I'm here in a little village of Hollybush on the A713. Now the A713 is how you get to the Railway Museum and how you get access into Loch Doon. Now, here's a bridge. And I believe it's a railway bridge. Ayrshire had hundreds of miles of rail servicing all the villages, and they were all closed. So now the only access I've got is by car or bus, or you need to stay at home. They call it progress. I don't believe it. Anyway, that's my video. I defended Loch Doon against the King's Marauder. But don't worry, we are pals now. We had a cup of tea and a biscuit and we promised to write to each other from now on. Anyway, that's the end. Hope you've enjoyed it. So from me on the A713 in the village of Hollybush, hopefully I'll see you again.